All right, everyone. Well, welcome back, and we are very luckily joined this morning by renowned Australian coach Joe Lopez. So, Joe, firstly, thank you for joining us today, and obviously, firstly to our listeners, our co-host Josh can't be here today due to some work commitments that couldn't be moved. Though, Joe, I want to get straight into it and not really beat around the bush with this one. So, to a more casual fan looking at the Islam Makachev and Alexander Volkanovski matchup, a lot of people seem to be calling it a, classic striker versus grappler match. Whereas from my perspective, it's far more of a fight between two high level mixed martial artists who can present dangers in all aspects of the game. Do you think people are somewhat overlooking Volkanovski's ability to mix it up and Islam's ability to strike heading into the fight?
Look, well, when Alex first started, Alex was the wrestler with the big overhand right. That's what he was known for, and he's always had great scrambling skills and all that kind of thing. But Alex is an all-round martial artist. He's good on the ground, he's good wrestling, as he's progressed, his striking's gone next level. He's always had good fight IQ. He's always had the gift of understanding distance, and that's why he's so hard to hit and he's so elusive. The casual fan is obviously, just watch the last few fights and just think he's a striker, but he's evolved as a martial artist.
Yeah, for sure. So, Joe, I've noticed that Chelsea Hackett has been training quite a bit down at Freestyle, and obviously with her recent signing to the PFL for their upcoming Challenger Series, I wanted to ask, where have you noticed is the biggest improvement in her game? As we haven't seen Chelsea since her Dana White Contender Series fight, so I know we're all really excited to see her make her return.
Yeah, well, I think Chelsea's had the women's division in Australia is very small, so she's hard getting her matched up, and then I think she had a cracked or broken, so she's been out for a while, and it'd be good to see her come. Now, where she has improved is her wrestling and her ground game. She's really stepping it up there. So again, she's becoming a real martial artist as well.
Yeah, for sure. So, Joe, as a coach and a martial artist yourself, you obviously never stop learning. You never stop finding new ways that you can improve your own skill set. But I wanted to know, what's been the biggest change in approach that you've had to make as a coach from your early days to now?
Well, it's an individual thing, you've got to, everyone's got their strengths and their weaknesses. So you always try and improve on your strengths, but you try and improve more on your weaknesses, so you've got an all round, good game everywhere,
Yeah, for sure. So, Joe, the Freestyle MMA team, it's obviously quite a close-knit group with, a litany of fighters such as Volkanovski through to Justin Van Heerden. Does having a smaller team allow for your fighters to progress better in the gym? As we're starting to see some more coaches like Trevor Whitman really focus on having a smaller team as opposed to dozens and dozens of top-level fighters all in the one gym.
Yeah, well, look, I think even the big gyms, they'll get, when they go into camp, they'll get, a core set of guys and they just train with those guys, You can't go into a class environment where there's, 30, 40 people and, you're just a number in the group, When you go into camp, you go fight specific. So, obviously with Islam, we're a lot more wrestling based. This one, and we're bringing in guys, like we've got Frank Hickman here, Craig Jones, Dave Martinez is here. We've got a couple of other guys from America. Craig's brought a few of his guys over from the B team. So it's been a lot of it has been wrestling based. But we still do pads, on a daily basis. So Alex's footwork and his striking is still on point,
For sure. And that kind of leads on to my next question. So we obviously see you wearing the Mexican ground karate shirt, and Craig Jones, as you said, is obviously very closely affiliated with the team. And obviously the level of jiu-jitsu experience and skill that he can offer is certainly world class. I was just wondering if you could take us back to when you first sort of met or became involved with Craig, and how has it been for you to see him develop into one of the best and most recognizable faces of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the world?
Oh, look, I've sort of known of Craig, and met him a couple of times, but we sort of, when we were doing the Ultimate Fighter, we were trying to pick up, trying to get the coaching team. It was during COVID, so we were trying to get, a team together of coaches, and we were racking our brains. And then I actually came up, I thought, what about Craig Jones? And he jumped at it. And during the camp, through the whole series, we became pretty good friends, with all of us. Not only is he a really good grappler and everything, he's a really good coach. He really, he gets into the specifics of it, and he's not a know-it-all. We bounce ideas off each other, but he's a really, really knowledgeable guy, and he breaks things down and he looks at things, and we all ask questions, and as a coach and everything else, that's what you want. You couldn't anything better, and when the Brian fight came around, he jumped in the corner, and since then he's part of our team now, and we keep, although he's in Texas and that, we still keep in contact pretty regularly. If there's any questions or anything, I'll just shoot him an email, or we send videos, and he sends videos back. So it's just great having him on board.
Definitely. So, Joe, just for a minute, I want to put a bit of a what-if scenario to you. So let's say everything goes according to plan. Alex goes out February 12th, defeats Islam Makachev, and becomes a 2-division champion. What, in your opinion, do you believe he would do next? As obviously there is the 145-pound interim title fight between Josh Emmett and Yair, but as a double champ, he would definitely be able to call his shot with, maybe some of the bigger matchups at 155 with Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor if he comes back. It makes for a very interesting conversation. So where do you think he would go next if he gets the victory on February 12th?
Look, to be honest, I'm not looking past anything but Islam. It's a tough fight. I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. At the moment, I'm not looking past Islam. Islam is, he's a formidable opponent. You can't take him lightly. So all my energy and what we're focusing on is just him, and whatever happens, And the only good thing about it is we've got, for the 145, we've got, whoever wins that, we've got an opponent there. For the lightweight, again, everybody will be throwing their hat in the ring, I'm sure.
Of course.
It'd be great to fight someone like McGregor. I don't think it'd be it'd be very good for McGregor to face a guy like Alex. No disrespect to McGregor.
No, of course not.
He's a great striker, but he's never done good against a wrestler like Alex. He'd find it very, very hard.
For sure. So look, Joe, last question from us today, man, because we really appreciate your time and we don't want to keep you too long. But on the conversation of the interim 145-pound title fight, who do you favor in that fight between Josh Emmett and Yair Rodriguez? Look, in all fairness, I think there's an argument for not even needing an interim title for this fight. I think it could have been a number one contender fight. But nonetheless, who do you see being able to take this one?
Look, It's an interesting one, it's whoever who brings their A game, because both guys have got, incredible skills. Yair's got, that kicking game. He's very, very tough, but Josh is very tough and he's very tenacious, and he can really put that forward pressure on, and he's got, his wrestling and his striking. It's a really hard one for me, I'm a little bit towards Josh, but, to me it's they've both got their strengths and their weaknesses, and they're both tough guys, Anybody in that top 10, and it's sort of, when you get your, what's that guy, Bryce Mitchell and Giga and all these guys, making all this noise, I just laugh at them. They haven't fought anybody in the top 5. They've got to get past those guys. Those guys are all killers, even top 10. All those guys, you can't look past any of them, people sort of, even Zombie, people, what Alex did to Zombie, that's because it's Alex. I'm sure if Bryce Mitchell has to face Zombie, I'm telling you, it'd be a different game, because Zombie he's no joke. None of those guys, and anybody that takes those guys lightly and looks past them, you're fooling yourself. I mean, a lot of it might be just hype to get, their attention, which is and that's the fight game, but, all that, I always say, anybody in any division in that top 10, they're there for a reason. They're not there. They're no joke. They're all tough. They're all got great skill level. You can't look past them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, look, Joe, thank you very much for joining us today, man. We really appreciate you giving us some time. All the best for the preparation for the rest of camp, and we can't wait to see you guys go out there February 12th and hopefully get that W for Australia.
100%. Thanks for having me on.
Definitely.
Cheers.
Have a good one, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Bye.